Welcome to the Life After Plus One podcast, where we turn life's lemons into delightful lemonade. Get ready for inspiring stories, uplifting conversations, and all the tips and tricks to rock your single parent journey with style. I'm your host, Leanne, and it's time to embrace the adventure of Life After Plus One. So, let's dive in. Hello, welcome back to Life After Plus One. I'm Leanne, your podcast host and your single parent mentor and coach. And before I dive into today's episode, just want to remind you all that all the ebooks are still available on the website, plus the coaching services are there if you want. There's a full description available on each of those services. So the point of these services is just because you don't always know how to handle your life as a single parent, because single parenting is really one of the toughest things out there to do. You've gone through the biggest heartbreak. You've then got to go home, put on a big smile on your face like everything's okay, go to work, come home, do your family life with the kids where you're running around doing everything, put the kids to bed, you go to bed, get up, do the same thing. You don't switch off. You're not getting a chance to process anything. You're not getting a chance to deal with your emotions, and you're bottling all these things up. And they get released every time you see your ex, because you're not getting a chance to move on. You're not getting a chance to manage these emotions and feelings. You're just bottling it up. And until next time you see your ex, or they message you or they call you, bam, you let it all out, because you're just going through your daily life and your daily routine, just on robot form pretty much, trying to be happy for your kids, trying to work hard to provide for your kids. And you're not getting a chance to even work through this breakup or deal with it. And you've still got to have this person in your life that you just never want to see again, but you've got to try and be friendly with them, or at least be kind for the sake of their kids. How do you do that? It's not easy. And that's what this is all about. That's what Life After Plus One is all about, to help you get through that, to help you get through this process in a positive mind frame. So if you do want help with that, if you do need to get through this journey in a happier and healthy way, then reach out. Everything's on my website. All the links are in the show notes below. And I do have that free discovery call available. So if you want to have a free chat just to see where you're at and see if it's right for you, then let's chat. Jump onto my website and book that free chat, and we can go from there. Now, let's dive into today's episode. And we're talking Easter as a single parent. And with this, I'm talking budgeting. How do you budget for Easter as a single parent when you're just scraping by? And how do you manage the Easter period when you're kid-free, or those days throughout Easter when you don't have your kids and you're feeling very alone and lost? How do you deal with it all? What do you do? Okay, let's talk about that. So by the time this episode goes to air, it will be Good Friday. So I'm presuming most of you would have already done your Easter shopping already. But a few budget tips to help you get by in this Easter period is to plan ahead. So this advice is probably not so beneficial for this year, because this is coming out 2 days before Easter. But this now is when all the Easter stock is on sale. Now, most of the shops will be closed today, being Good Friday. Tomorrow, when everything reopens, yes, it'll be manic. It'll be mayhem. Shops always are, aren't they, over the Easter weekend? But that's when you will find all your Easter sales. Now, you can't guarantee you're going to get the item that you wanted. If you had your eye on a specific type of chocolate, or for something that you were after, you can't guarantee you will get it, because you're getting what's left over. But good chance you're going to get it discounted. And you will also find those standard bunnies and bags of chocolates, there's still plenty of stuff left. So you will find something, guaranteed. Out of all the supermarkets and different shops that sell your Easter eggs, you will find something. And pretty much all of the shops that have it will have it on sale, because they want it gone by Sunday. They don't want Easter stuff in their shops on Monday. They want it out as soon as possible. So the quicker they can get rid of it, the better for them. And in saying that, talking about planning ahead, this is also a great time to get things for next year. Now, I wouldn't advise getting chocolate for next year, but you can also get things like winter pajamas. There's a lot of things that shops sell these days that isn't just chocolate, whether it be Easter baskets, whether it be slippers, whether it be jumpers. You can get a lot of Easter merchandise these days. All this kind of stuff will also be on sale. If it's not sold out already, then it will be on sale. So this is a great time to shop for either last minute shopping for this year or pick up some great stuff for next year. And certain stores like Kmart, they have a huge Easter range of stock, like your tableware, theming, styling, all that kind of stuff. And you will find by, I don't know if it's on sale from Easter Sunday or Easter Monday, because I never go to the shops on Easter Sunday, but guaranteed by Easter Monday, all that stock will be ridiculously reduced. I've picked up things for like $1.50. From one year, I got little Easter bunnies and they were 5 cents. I'm like, holy smokes. So obviously I picked up a few of those things. And what's great about that, it's nothing that we can say, oh my gosh, I can't afford that. I haven't budgeted for that. It is so cheap that it doesn't even make a difference. You'd be spending probably like a cup of coffee on what you can probably get 3 or 4 things for. They mark it down so much because, like I said, they want it gone. They don't want it left in the store. So if you're wanting some other items alternate to chocolate at a great price, get to the shops on Easter Sunday or Easter Monday. They mark it down so much. It's just, you're spending a few coins. It is so worth it. So that's a great tip. If you're wanting to plan ahead and put some stuff away for next year, go and do it. Because I know each year, I put it, my daughter now, we put a few little Easter things out around the house. And each year I'll pick up 1 or 2 new things that I've picked up from sales from the year before. So it's a great idea. And even if you're not wanting to put things around the house, it's great little gift ideas for gift baskets and anything else that you want to put in there for the kids, and you can put it away somewhere. Easter colouring books, Easter reading books, anything like that you will find, put them away. And that's a great way to save some money for next year when you're sticking to a budget. Another thing, when you're working around these kind of occasions as a single parent and you're living week to week, set yourself some limits. Have a budget. Know what you can allocate towards Easter. Know that, okay, well, I've got $100 left to spend this week, or I've got $40 left, whatever it is. Be realistic. Don't just go, oh, I want that. I'll get that. The kids will like that. And then be like, holy fuck, I don't know how I'm going to pay for my electricity bill now, or I'm not going to be able to afford rent. Be realistic with what you can spend. So don't buy things that are way out of your means. Keep it realistic. And if need be, now I'm not a big fan of those buy now, pay later programs, especially ones like ZipPay. I think they're very predatory programs where they prey on people that are struggling financially, and then they absolutely smash you with interest. But Afterpay, I don't have any issues with. If you can make those 4 fortnightly payments, if you're buying something that's $100 and you don't have $100 to spare, then maybe put on Afterpay if you can allocate $25. Just make sure you've got that $25 those consecutive fortnights to pay for the remaining payments. So that is a great option when you are struggling to make that big lump sum payment, but just make sure you've got the consecutive payments there because they will come out automatically. But it does help when you're needing to split those payments up when you've only got those small amounts to spare each fortnight. Also, over the Easter weekend, it's very easy to get carried away with spending money. The kids want to go to the Easter show, or they just want to go out because you've got all those extra days off. The kids are off school. You've got your public holidays. It's like, what do you do? How do you keep the kids entertained without spending a bucket load of money? Well, get creative. Do some fun stuff at home. You don't have to be out spending money to be having fun with the kids. You can have fun and create great memories without spending any money. It's about being smart with what you're doing. Do some Easter cooking. Now, I know I used to always buy those blocks of cooking chocolate, and I've got Easter molds at home, which you can get from a cake supply store. You can also get from hot dollar stores and your discount shops. You can also just use ice trays and you melt the chocolate and you pour it in, and we'd have these cute little Easter chocolates, and I used to make them every year. And they're fun. It's a fun little activity. And if you're really tight on money, you can even do that as an Easter gift. You can put them in little jars or cellophane wrapping or anything. They're fun and they're cute. And you can choose what brand of chocolate. You can get the cheaper brand. You can get the more expensive brand. So that can work into your budget. And you can do it how you want. You can even use that in an egg hunt, or for like the bunny comes in the morning, you can put them around the house. That's a cheaper way to do chocolate, because those bags of just those little round Easter eggs, I just can't justify the price of some of those things sometimes. For what you're getting, it's quite expensive. So that's a fun thing to do as well. And it's also a good budget little tip there. So something to keep in mind if you want to add it to their gifts, if you want to do it with the Easter Bunny hunt, or if you want to just make a fun creative activity. So that's another thing to keep in mind there. And in talking about being creative, do some painting. Kids love artwork. Do that in the backyard. Get some painting stuff. Do some plaster painting. That's not that expensive. Even if you don't want to do it on plaster, you can get some some paper, and just let them paint away. Get some chalk on a driveway or back veranda or road. That's a fun thing. I used to always do that with my daughter. She'd just go crazy for ages. And it just washes off when it rains. So it doesn't stain, doesn't mark, doesn't really matter. Get them to draw away. You can go draw with them. Take some photos. That's a fun thing to do. And draw some fun little Easter pictures with them. Painting, chalk, whatever you want to do. That's another fun activity that's not expensive, and it creates some fun memories. And another thing that has been really popular these last few years is doing Easter photo shoots with the kids, or Easter minis as they like to call them. And they usually cost a few $100s each, and you get maybe a handful of photos. And mind you, they're beautiful, and they're a beautiful keepsake to have. But not everyone has a few $100s to spare on top of the money that they're already spending on this occasion with Easter. And it may not just be the Easter eggs. You may be having to entertain family or friends at your house, and it's just all this extra money. And it's just like at Christmas, and you've got to get the Santa photos. But then now you've got all these little mini photo shoots that people are doing in between, which are beautiful. But it's really hard when you're just someone that's not in the financial bracket where you can afford to do something like this. You just keep looking at all these beautiful things that are available, and you're like, wow, I'd love to do that, but I just can't afford it. So why not recreate something yourself? We all pretty much have phones these days that take beautiful photos. You don't necessarily need to have a glamorous photo shoot to get nice photos of your kids. If you just put them in a cute little outfit, set them up in the backyard with some nice trees and some nice bush or whatever, shrubbery, you can get just some cheap little knick-knacky stuff and take some beautiful photos of the kids. Bam, you've done your own photo shoot. So don't feel like you have to keep up with everyone if you can't afford it. Recreate your own. Do it yourself. Have fun with it. But you don't have to go all glamorous and do something because other people are doing it. Do a fully styled table because other people are doing it. Do it within your means, within what you can afford, and do it because it's what you enjoy. You don't have to do it because it looks good on social media or because Jane down the street's doing it. You know what? Jane down the street might be putting on these glamorous parties, but doesn't mean Jane's happy. She might be doing this as a way to make herself happy. So don't focus on what other people are doing, because you never know what's going on behind closed doors, and you never know what's actually happening in other people's lives. So don't compare yourself to what other people are doing. Stay focused on your family life. And just remember to stick within your budget on these types of occasions. And when it comes to Easter and doing all these things, stay within your budget, because this year Easter doesn't fall on the same time as school holidays. It falls a week or two out. So you've got Easter, and then in 2 weeks' time you've got school holidays, which is more expense as well, because we're going to have to try and find ways to keep the kids entertained. So don't go overboard. Do what you can. And wouldn't we all love to do those beautiful Easter setups and do those nice, big, beautiful gift hampers that people do? But if you can't do it, don't put yourself out. Now I'm left trying to dig myself out of this hole, and that means we're not going to be able to go out for the next couple of months because I've now got to pay all these bills. Don't do it to yourself. Is it worth it? And it's hard not to want to keep up with the Joneses. I mean, we've all done it. We've all been there. But it's nice to not focus on it, where you can focus on doing things for you and for your kids. So just be cautious of where you're spending your money. Don't spend it just because you want to look good on Facebook and you want to post those photos on Easter morning. You know, who gives a fuck? Don't even post photos if you don't want to. You don't have to post photos of what your kids got. All we know is that everyone is doing it tough at the moment. So when you look at people and you think, holy fuck, how could they afford that? Oh, wow, that's awesome. Don't compare yourself to anyone. Don't worry what anyone else is doing, especially when they're not a single parent family. Don't compare yourself to people that are living a life based on two incomes, because it's very different. You cannot compare your situation to that. It's hard. This is what our journey is about, making do on our own. So whatever you do, don't compare yourself to people living off two incomes. Don't worry about the gifts. It's all about the memories and doing fun things together. Make those chocolates, do some creative stuff, have some fun, create a little photo shoot in your backyard, create a fun Easter setup with some props or theming that you have at home, or go to one of those little knick-knacky shops and pick up a few things. You can create it fun without spending big bucks. Another fun tip, over the Easter weekend, if you're looking for something fun to do, it's usually the time when people go camping. And if you don't have the money to do something like that, or maybe camping's not that expensive, but maybe you just want to stay home, do a camp out in your backyard. Why not? You got a fire pit, you got a sleeping bag, or even just some blankets. It's not that cold at the moment. Have a little chill out weekend in the backyard and have your own little camping trip. That's a fun experience, and I guarantee that's something that the kids will never forget. Things like that, kids remember. So make your own fun experiences without having to spend big bucks or stay in glamorous hotels or go on expensive plane trips. Do what's in your budget. And even if it means sacrificing a bit, so doing it small now, so maybe next year you can do it big. So if you plan ahead and think, right, this year we're going to cut back costs, we're going to do something simple, so maybe Easter next year we can afford to go away. So work it out that way. Do what works for you. Now, on a different note, how do you manage Easter when you don't have the kids? It's not fun, is it? It's not fun waking up on these kind of occasions and not being able to wake up with the kids there. It's sad because that's what these days are about. They're about the kids, waking up on Easter morning and you got the Easter egg hunt and you got their little goodies there. But you've just got to remember, this is your situation. This is how it is. And you've just got to remind yourself that the kids are at the other parent's house and they're having fun, and you have your allocated time with them and you can have your fun with them then. So try not to get too sad about it. Try not to get lonely. Try not to be calling the kids saying, I miss you. Let them have their fun. And then when they come home to you, you have your fun with them and you create your own special memories. We're doing things that I just mentioned earlier. You create your fun with them in your own time. You create your memories. So if you're home alone on Good Friday or Easter Sunday, they're the main days that people usually do stuff. Don't sit around and get sad. I mean, it does get lonely. Sometimes it can be easy to be sitting at home thinking, I wish I had something to do or people to hang out with. But don't sit there and get all upset. Don't get yourself worked up about it. Yes, you miss the kids and that's totally okay. Of course you're going to miss the kids. And it's normal to miss the kids on any weekend or any time that they're not with you. But use the time for you. Try and focus on, maybe plan ahead and plan something with your friends. And you might be like, but I don't have money to go out with my friends. Well, then you know what? Invite your friends over your place. Tell them to bring a plate each and have a little fun afternoon at your place. Or tell them to bring their own drinks and you just put on some cheap little platters that you can pick up for next to nothing. It doesn't cost that much to have a few friends over. Even have a movie night and a couple of bowls of popcorn or something. Invite your friends over. Go do something. But don't sit at home getting sad. Even if you just go for a walk on your own, go for a bike ride. Sit out and read a book, catch up on some podcasts. Just don't sit at home and get sad. And also just going back to my discussion of what I was saying earlier, looking for things to do over the Easter weekend. If you do have the kids on Easter Sunday or any day over the Easter weekend and you're wanting to do stuff but you just don't have the money, go down to a park. Go sit down in a park and have some fish and chips. Go down to a beach. Go out and do a fun activity that doesn't cost a lot. There's a lot of things you can do, a lot of activities that you can do that don't cost a lot of money. And if it's just you and the kids home on Easter or one of the days over the Easter weekend, then do a quick search on some free activities in your area. And there's usually so many things on because a lot of places will put on free activities as a way to get you in their venue to spend money, but you don't necessarily have to spend money. A lot of places are doing Easter egg hunts and cookie designing and all these Easter activities. And a lot of shopping centres have Easter activities and they're all free. So do a search in your area as to what Easter activities are on. Look at your shopping centres. Look at your local clubs and your restaurants and your other kind of big event places in your area and see what Easter activities are on. And I guarantee you there'll be a lot of free Easter events. So that's a great way to fill up your time over Easter when you want to do something with the kids. And it's even a good idea to do something for yourself if your kids are at the other parents. It's a good way to keep yourself busy because they're not always kids' activities. There's like race days and all these other events that are on. And they want to get families in. They want to get people in so those people can spend money at their venue. And a lot of them will have free entry or discounted entry or something just so they can get you there because most people are out doing family things and Easter show and all that stuff over Easter. So got all these free activities and use that to occupy yourself when the kids are at their other parents, or use that to take the kids out to do a cheap activity with them. And even a lot of shopping centres and other places around, they have Easter bunny visit. I remember doing a lot of stuff like that with my daughter when she was younger. As I get older, it gets a little bit more tricky. But when they're young, there's so many things that they can do, like arts and crafts and Easter activities that they love and the Easter bunny visits. And there's so many things. And when they're usually, I think, 3 or 4 years of age and under, you'll find most of the things that they can go to are free. Like even the Easter show, I'm pretty sure it's 4 years and under is free. It could be 3 now, I don't know. But I remember when my daughter was younger, that's when I used to take her to all these things because being a single mum and I was on a really tight budget, I took her to all these kind of activities because at that age, you don't have to pay entry. So that's something to look for as well. When you're wanting to keep the kids entertained and if they're younger, quite often that age is free entry. And if you go into things like maybe a zoo or certain places, like for example, the reptile park here on the Central Coast and there's Hunter Valley Zoo and there's lots of other zoos around. And I'm pretty sure they have free entry under the age of 3 or 4. Don't quote me on that. If I am wrong, please feel free to DM me and tell me, but I'm sure that's what they used to have. So that's another great idea to look into. If you've got younger kids over the Easter holidays, keep that in mind. That is such an awesome little thing to remember when you're planning your day out. It's a great way to save some money and you can just pack your own lunch from home. Pack a few sandwiches or grab a barbecue chicken and some wraps. Create your own little picnic lunch when you're there. You don't have to spend up big money just because you're going to their place. It's a fun day out. They've usually got the animals or something to look at and something to do. You've got your own lunch. And if you've got a little bit of money left over, then you can buy a little souvenir or a little keepsake for the kids, but you don't even have to do that. So that's another little fun tip of something to do over the Easter weekend. And again, it's not just something to do with the kids. It could be something to do with yourself when you're looking to keep yourself entertained. But obviously, you're not going to be doing those free entry things with the kids under 4 when it's just yourself, unless you're going with friends and their kids. So when you are alone at Easter, when the kids are with the other parents, try and keep yourself entertained, keep yourself busy. I mean, if you're new to it and you're just getting started in this whole co-parenting process and it's maybe your first or second Easter alone and it's still something you're adjusting to, then yes, definitely keep yourself busy. Catch up with your friends. Go visit your family members. Even just hang out at their house. You don't have to spend money. Get them to come over and hang out at your house. But just don't sit around and get sad. And I'm pretty sure if you have been single for some time, you might be used to it. You might be okay with it. But realistically, do we ever get okay with not having our kids on Easter or Christmas or on these special occasions? It's always a tough one. It's always a tough one. So find a way to look at the positive in the situation, make the most of your time away. And then when they do come back, that's when you just soak it all up and you have your fun times with them. Find some fun ways to create some Easter memories with them that makes them excited to come back home with you and do fun stuff with you. And try not to feel left out. It's easy to do that. It's easy to feel like, oh, I'm missing out. But not to sound rude, it's not about you in this situation. It's about the kids. And unfortunately, because of the way things have ended, this is now how it has to work. The kids now have to divide themselves between mum and dad. So don't sit there and go, oh, I'm missing out, or it's not fair, or how come this, or how come that. Accept it for what it is. It's happened. You guys aren't together, okay? Would you rather be with them and be miserable, or would you rather be separated and have to share the kids? It's a tough one. I know it's not an easy one, but that's the situation. So you've just got to look at it and go, okay, well, fuck, I'm not happy. It's not how I want it to be, but if only that arsehole treated me nicer, then we wouldn't be broken up. You can't look at it like that. It's done. They're not going to change, or who knows, maybe they will. But the relationship has ended, so you've just got to take that on board and go, okay, well, as long as the kids are happy, I'm super pumped for when they come home so we can be happy together. So like I said, don't sit around and be sad. Don't be miserable. Don't be thinking about all the what ifs. Oh, what if we stay together? What if he did this? What if I did this? What if I try to call him? What if we try to talk? What if I see if I can get the kids home early? Or don't sit there and stew on things like that. You're only going to screw with your head. Find a way to keep yourself busy. Go out and have some fun. Go sit out in the sun. Go chill at the beach. Go sit on the beach and have a sunbake. I always see people down at the beach just sunbaking on their own. Why not? There's nothing wrong with it. Go do that. Go chill out. Take a book. Take your AirPods. Take whatever and just chill out down at the beach. And it doesn't cost a cent. If you're trying to save money, do it. Even go to the movies. I've gone to the movies on my own before. Mind you, I haven't done it at night time. I've done it during the day. But there's a few days in the Easter break to spare. So if you want to get out and do something and you've got no one to spend time with because they're all with their family, then go out and go watch a movie on your own. Go do something. There's always something that can be done. So don't sit there and focus on things that you wish were happening instead of focusing on making something good of the situation that you have. So when the kids come home, you're nice and happy, not like, oh, I missed you. I wish you were home with me. I mean, obviously you do feel like that, but you don't want to make the kids feel guilty because they weren't there with you on Easter Sunday morning when they woke up. They want to know that you're going to be happy when you see them when they come back home. Don't make them feel guilty with all these questions. I mean, of course you're going to ask questions. What did you get? What did the Easter Bunny bring? And all. Yes, that's totally normal. But you don't want to drill them with questions about the other parent and what happened. Just let them have their fun time and go, oh, wow, that's cool. Love that you got that. Then you focus on your time with the kids. So just a reminder, Easter is fun. And really, Easter is a religious occasion, and not many people do celebrate that side of Easter. But if you're wanting something to do for free and you're wanting to get the kids out of house, take them to Mass. Show them the real meaning of Easter. So have fun. Have a great Easter, guys. I really hope you do. Have lots of fun. If you get up to some fun activities, share it with me. Tell me. I'd love to hear what you guys are getting up to. Are you going to the Easter show? Are you going away? What are you getting up to? Are you alone this Easter for your first time? Is this your first Easter alone? Shoot me a message if it is. Let's have a chat. Let's see where you're at and how you're going to cope and how you're going to handle it. But remember, try not to think about the what ifs. Try not to think about things that aren't happening or things that you can't change. Focus on things that you can do and that you can have control on. So if you're not happy in your situation, get up and do something. Go and entertain yourself. If you've got no one to do anything with because they're all busy with their family, go do something on your own. Go out and have lunch on your own. Go sit at the beach. Go do something that can help keep you entertained. And it's not such a bad idea having lunch on your own. I've done that as well too. It's quite nice. Just sit there and chill. The only thing is it's quite difficult when you go to one of those places when you've got to get up and order and you've got to get up and get a drink. That's hard when you've got a table on your own because you don't have anyone to mind the table when you get up and order. So if you do that, maybe do it at a place where they can come and take your order at the table. So I'm going to wrap this up now, guys. I really hope you got something from this. Easter is a fun time of year. It really is. So don't break the bank. Be smart with your spending. You don't have to go overboard. Keep it realistic. And even if you say to the kids, hey, we're just doing a bit tight this year, mum or dad, we're just trying to cut back on costs and just trying to manage doing everything on my own this year. It's a little bit tough. But I promise next year I'll make it up to you and we'll do something different next year. It's okay to do that. It's okay to say, hey, we're going to do a little bit cheaper this year. Maybe next year we can do something a bit nicer. Be realistic. It's nice to be open and honest with them so they understand where you're coming from as well. You might get them saying, oh, I wish I had this, I wish I had that. But that's when you just remind them, okay, listen, kids, Joe down the street, he might have more things because he's got mum and dad that help pay for things. I'm here doing everything on one income. So sometimes it is okay to give them that little reminder. I'm just here doing it all by myself. Just be patient with me, kids, and I promise I'm doing the best I can. And on that note, I'm going to wrap it up. And just again, one friendly reminder, if you are enjoying the show, give us a review, give us a like, give us a follow, give us a share. Because you know what? The more of those I get, the more ears it gets in, the more the Life After Plus One word gets spread out around the world. And that's what we want to do. We're here to inspire all our single parent friends around the world so they can live a happier and more enjoyable single parent life. Because it's great being a single parent if you have that right mind frame. And it puts you in that right mind frame for when you're ready to get back into that dating world again and have a new partner. So thank you again, everyone. Have an amazing Easter. And until next time, I'll be in your ears then. Thank you for joining us on the Life After Plus One podcast. If you loved what you heard today and looking for some further support, then jump onto our website, lifeafterplusone.com. Plus, don't forget to check out our Instagram page for further resources and inspo. You can find all the links in the show notes. And remember, you're not alone on this path. I'm looking forward to seeing you on the next episode. And in the meantime, keep thriving, keep growing, and keep exploring your amazing life after plus one.